Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Ben the Human Plays Vagrus the Riven Realms. We're here in Arcane. We're gonna try and break Rongar out before he is publicly executed, and then maybe just kill him ourselves. So we'll see what happens here. Gossip you hear from a gaggle of burly mercenaries is enough to lay the seeds of the plan. The guards at the Sergeradite Spire shifts around sundown, leading you with a small but opportune window to get in unseen with a group of specialists and get out with Rongar. Once he has been captured, you will flit him away to the Arcane forest where the rest of your Comes will be waiting with the Comitatus. You will have to execute each move with precision. Sergeradites do not take kindly to impertinence of any kind, and along with the Imperial soldiers stationed there, you risk much by even countenancing such a mission. You and the Comitatus could be brandished as criminals, or worse. Nonetheless, Javek's resolve remains resolute. When questioned on tonight's operation, he makes one thing clear. He will do whatever it takes. An unease has settled within the sorcerer, and you wonder if his words mean that what they imply. Is he willing to cross a line he never wanted to? We gather the best of your Comes and stake out the prison beneath the Sergeradite Spire. Bring the whole squad. And you know what? I'm going to start trying to bring Harvick instead of Elani, and I want to see how that go with the overall scheme of things. You dole out orders to the highest ranking of the crew who are not going to accompany you, advising them to wait outside Arcane to the west of the Arcane forest. You also send a few sentries to move among the populace and see what events, if any, might affect tonight's clandestine operation. Once you have the weaponry you deem fitting, you head towards the center of town. The low sun's evening embrace feeds shafts of sunlight that proliferate the clouds of dust billowing among the buildings. Small makeshift markets are closed up for the day, and the streets are busy as folk hustle about, and the guards near the spire appear to be restless. You take in the lay of the land. Plan a multi-pronged infiltration into the dungeons. God's willing, you will be able to get Rongar out of there easily. When everybody is in place, you wait. The sun is lower in the sky now, and you know that soon dusk will fall. A large forum, not more than 200 feet distant, appears to be humming despite the imminent onset of evening, which is odd, you decide. You contemplate what it all means as you ready yourself to strike. Yet mere moments before you are to give the order, a sentry you dispatched earlier hurries up beside you, eager to speak. "The execution's been shifted, Vagrus. It's tonight. They're doing him in tonight," he adds, a grim expression on his face. Javek hears the news and curses loudly. "Crap, the A-team. We've got to get in there, you guys." In the blink of an eye, the sorcerer is at your side, pleading with you to continue the operation. He seeks to confront the Sergeradites, who will surely conduct the execution in the crowded forum, and snatch the orc from their grasp. You tell him that whisking away Rongar in front of so many will see you be made a mortal enemy of the Empire, a traitor to be put down, provided it was possible to subdue his guards and executioners in the first place. "But we have to do it," Javek whispers with indignant frustration. With his emotions so laid bare, you ask the sorcerer why deciding Rongar's fate is so important to him. He is asking you to put your entire Comitatus in danger and risk your own neck. You deserve at least to know why he is so bent on seeing this through. Momentarily, the Tarkin is taken aback. Rongar is mine to condemn," Javek declares, though you are not so sure he believes it. "I do not say that I will end his sorry existence, rather that I am considering it. There is much I have thought of. I can't get into it all now. There's no time." You are deliberately silent to spur the Tarkian into further admissions. You look at him hard in the eyes, and as he begins to talk again, the same thought about his telepathic powers hits you. Will he exploit them for your mutual gain? "Please, Vagrus, there is a way," he asserts, and you can tell that he is wrestling with something. "I can unleash a potent power. It is volatile, yet it will get us through this unharmed. You must trust me," he concludes, locking eyes with yours. He takes a deep breath. "If you ever trusted me, trust me now." All right, trust Javek and his plan. Interrupt the execution just before it happens. And there it is. Javek fires back with enthusiasm when you make your decision known. "Call me a fool, but I knew I could trust you. We are friends for if not to bust out old acquaintances from what are friends for if not to bust out old acquaintances from Imperial prisons, endangering life and limb," he says dryly, but then cracks a smile. You tell him that you hope your trust in him is not misplaced. His enthusiasm is intoxicating. You can only hope his plan to break Rongar free at such a public execution is going to work. Wait for my order. We must spread out at the forum, taking advantageous positions from where we can quickly bring the Sergorodites to heel, he states with confidence. I will ensure that none are the wiser after we release the orc and take him with us. You interrupt him, asking how he is planning to do that exactly. Rest assured, Vagrus, he says seriously. I'll use a power that will make everyone oblivious to our escapade, or rather, who did the deed. You will only need to worry about the guards and Sergorodites. After that, it will be a straight dash to the western gate. He points toward the far end of the forum. There. We'll have our work cut out for us, that's for sure. Let's get into position. A Sergorodite procession should be arriving soon. Knowing that the time is of the essence, you dole out orders to your companions and they move into the crowd surrounding the forum. The crowd size seems to slowly be building, which makes matters less than ideal. Nonetheless, over the next hour, your companions attempt to get themselves into optimal positions. I think we can hold on to our resourcefulness here. Yeah, we got a lot of Skulker. We succeed. The crowd grows steadily over the next hour, and curiously, the wind picks up too. With ample time and sentries already having staked out the forum, your companions find their places in a masterful array of positions that surround an elevated platform, where the execution is sure to take place. Behind the platform and to your left is the escape route that leads west to Arcaros Forest, while on the right, a cobblestone street meanders all the way down from the dark Sergorodite spire due north. It is from that spire that the procession emerges at last. A detachment of no more than half a dozen emerges, hardened Sergorodites all. To the front walks a bald priest with spiked goatee. His face is painted white in typical fashion for those who worship the Raging One, with dark lines like scars marking his forehead, eyes, and upper cheeks. Behind him are two knights of the Order of the Black Sun clad in black armor. We've met these people before. A pair of executors walk in front of them while restraining an old hobbling orc by holding his arms, or rather, his one good arm. Rangar is truly a pitiful sight. His hair has grayed, his body is scarred and emaciated. One eye is missing, and his right arm is a stump at the elbow. Finally, with the procession having arrived, the priests step forward atop the raised platform, the wind catching hectically at his dark garb. The man straightens himself and then begins to speak, his voice elevated to a shout. By decree of the Emperor and the Triumvirate, we shall put Rangar to the Raging One's justice for crimes against the Empire, the priest decrees, raising his arms as if giving a sermon. Banditry, he calls out, theft, wanton neglect of imperial law, and most egregiously, the slaying of a Sergorodite executor. The sentence is death, he bellows, and some of the crowd react with fervor, apparently honoring the rites of execution. From beside you, you hear Javek whisper the words, Now! Your companions lunge into action, and several of the guards are immediately slain. I love how my companions are like, we'll just kill a bunch of people, why not? The priests and the Knights of the Black Sun are upon you at once. Alright. Yeah, this isn't the first time we fought these dudes. Begin. Alright, Krifta, shoot this guy. Oh, Retribution. Hey, nerd, stop that. Kick this dude. Later. Burn him. Oh, crit him again. Maybe he'll die into the fire? That would be lucky. But maybe. Rush forward and hit the priest. Oh, what a shot. Hey, stop that. I think... No. Skornar can kill the priest. That guy's dead. Axe this man. Goodbye. My turn. Let's hit this dude. And then kick this guy. Donk. And now we burn this dude. Dude, these people are falling like flies. I guess you can't do anything over here, Skornar. Shoot him. Oh, absolutely destroyed. The priest and the knights fall to the last. All around you, the crowd... Oh, I love it when the scenes turn dark I just love the way it looks. The priest and the knights fall to the last. All around you, the crowd appears in a daze, like undead whose minds have been cast into a waking oblivion. And then you see Javek at your side, catching a glimpse of the azure glow that emanates from within. The sorcerer appears in control, though there is a power around him that makes him seem not himself. Just then you catch a glimpse of Rangar. He is kneeling, his head held low. To your feet, Rangar, Javek's voice comes in tenor, firm and determined. Rangar does not rise, instead choosing to mockingly retort the Tarkian. Is that you, Doro? The orc drawls. Or just another of my nightmares? Oh, how many times I've seen your face. He cranes his head up, settling his gaze on the sorcerer. It is you, he gasps, and his demeanor shifts from piteous to a visage of malice. Don't you dare rob me of oblivion. Kill me here and now. Do what you should have done all those years ago. Do it now, fool. It is easy to see that Javek is struggling with this moment, but control prevails, and he commands the orc to his feet, this time obviously communicating or ordering him telepathically, and Rangar finally rises. Aside from his observed afflictions, the orc appears to be able-bodied, and thus capable of fleeing. Just then, the wind picks up, blowing dust across the forum, over the awnings and into the eyes of the staring, paralyzed crowd. It looks like you are minutes away from a full-blown dust storm. As you are considering your escape, elevated cries are from beyond the forum. It would seem that not all of the town is under the influence of whatever hex Javek has cast, and you will have to move quickly to avoid guards and escape Arcane with your lives. At least for now, nobody in the forum seems to be able to react. With Rangar in tow, you make a mad dash for the western gate, attempting to lose anyone willing to chase you. Yeah, I think we can just eat it. Yep. You leave the forum behind fast, never catching a glimpse of the reinforcements, in no small thanks to the sizable crowd and the strengthening dust storm. With the guards circumvented, the group dashes madly toward the western gate, between shops and urban domiciles, and through winding cobblestone alleys. The dust storm works curiously to your advantage, emptying the streets and concealing you, yet it makes your flight all the more straining. By the time you reach the gate, even through the storm, sentries and guards are taking aim at the group, looking to bring down whoever they can, even though they most likely cannot identify you even if their life depended on it. Some have slings and some have javelins. A few draw back the string on their composite bows. The gate remains open, but a volley at close range is certain to come if you make your way beneath it. And thus you and your companions do what you can to evade fire as you flee. Dexterous and perceptive. Let's go ahead and boost this. We succeed! Like a miracle from the gods themselves, every member of the group evades all fired projectiles. The storm too plays a great part. Aiming accurately in such conditions is a poor prospect, a fact made all the more apparent by the curses you hear soldiers yell when they miss. Once through the gate, the frantic escape continues apace, and you imagine just for a moment that the garrison will have no time for another round of fire. You are wrong! A final volley of javelins, rocks, and arrows is unleashed from Arkane's walls. Yet again, everything misses. There is the sound of a whistling rock near your head as you run, but an actual hit never strikes home. All around you, the dust storm howls now with the ire of the skies. Though certain that the Arcane forest will offer the protection you and your Komes need, there is no time to tarry. Javek's gaze continue to emit an azure glow, and for now, Rangar quietly joins in the efforts to be free of Arcane and his Sargeradite executors. You press on in earnest, eager to enter the Arcane forest and find the Comitatus. Towering spires of rocks greet your arrival in Arcane forest, though it soon strikes that there's little cover from ongoing dust storm here, while the pillars are sparse. With no pursuers on your tail, you keep up a steady pace, pushing through the forest of stone to the place you bid the Comitatus wait. Darkness has settled now, with the sun hanging low in the sky, obscured by the storm. Though many are jubilated to see your return, some quickly figure out Javek's intentions for Rangar, and they look upon the Tarkian with marked fear. While he seems to administer justice by killing the... Will he simply administer justice by killing the wretch himself, or is there something different to take place? You cannot help but wonder yourself, so you steal a glance at the sorcerer and see the azure glow fade from his eyes. Whatever has changed, it has an effect on Rangar too. Fool! You deprive me of the death I deserve to run me out here? Rangar spits, his one good eye honed in on Javek. You deprived me of my friends all those years ago, the Tarkian retorts coldly. Rangar shakes his head and laughs bitterly. When he sees the sorcerer's reaction, he doubles down. It is as though he directs the laughter itself at him. intent on goading him into action. Javek takes the bait, his face contorted with a rage that sees him narrow his eyes and focus. In Rangar's mind is the target. The orc clutches his head in desperation as the agony takes hold. Falling to the dust, Rangar writhes in anguish at whatever telepathic torture he is enduring ramps up. It is in that moment that you see the orc for how piteous he truly is. His senses are feeble, he reels from old age, and can do nothing to retaliate. You know that he will die if you do not stop the sorcerer. You yell for Javek to stop at once, for Rangar is sure to die, but an indescribable hatred has taken control of the Tarkian. The azure glow is gone, but you are forced to wonder if he is still in control. Death is what he deserves. He said it himself, Javek declares with passion, his mind still focused on Rangar, though the orc finds the energy to call out. End it, he bellows. Send me to rot with that horse, Sakethma, and the rest of the wretches. He's trying to get him to kill him. Anger sparks the Tarkian's visage again, yet this time he does not act on it. His hands relax, as do his eyes, all focus evaporating from him in an instant. He looks upon Rangar with pity now, a fact that the orc too realizes, and there is regret in his eyes. In a last-ditch effort to infuriate Javek, Rangar begins laughing again, though his heart is not truly in it. The waves of laughter soon become whimpers, and the orc is weeping. Amidst the bawling you hear two words, sorry, sniffled, and spluttered. Do they mark the history the two men share? The sorcerer's visage is clouded and undecided as of yet, though his eyes make clear the most obvious of assumptions. Killing Rangar might be seen as an act of mercy at this juncture. Implore Rangar to speak the truth about what happened at Valensteel all those years ago. This might not be the right way for him to die. I am curious. The question hangs in the air after you ask it, and Rangar goes silent, his weeping coming to an end. What's done is what's done, he begins, his voice at a low growl. I didn't wish for Valensteel to happen like it did. I paid for my sins tenfold. The nightmares you gave me. He looks up at Javek with his one eye. I face them every night, even in my waking hours. No escape. A flash of regret hits the sorcerer as he considers Rangar's account, though his expression hardens again with short order as he considers something. Why did your cronies slaughter them? So many perished on that day, people under your protection. Javek blurts out, and for what? Treasure? No. The plan was to escape with the artifacts Sakethma was sent to retrieve, and Aru I slew by accident. He looks down. The poor lad ran away with the artifact. Desperate and enraged, I threw my axe, he whimpers. So many lives lost, Javek responds flattenly. You killed Greya too, you monster. And what of you, Duro? Rangar snarls back. You returned from the specters, eyes aflame. My orcish brethren were put down like stray dogs. Remember their names. I thought not. I was protecting the others, Javek fires back. Were you, kid? Were you? Rangar drawls in a low, cranky timbre, judging by his reaction. The sorcerer does not seem so sure. He steps back, his weathered visage clouded, giving you the perfect opening to intervene. I think Javek would regret killing this guy. I think that Javek would prefer not to. Krifta, Harvik, and Nadir are like, you coward. After a lengthy period of contemplation, Javek steps back, a peaceful expression having settled on his weathered features, something having dawned upon him, and the sorcerer is intent upon acting upon it. Acquiring a stable stance, he braces and places two fingers against his forehead, while reaching out toward the orc with one arm, azure light igniting once more inside those tawny eyes. Rangar looks up in confusion, then his face too becomes serene, free of troubles and woes, and then calm. Though you know not what technique Javek employs, the two men's expressions betray their respective state of minds, and you suspect a logical conclusion. Rangar's mind has been cleansed of the nightmares the sorcerer instilled in it long ago. I'm sorry, Rangar, for my part in what happened. It was wrong what I did. With time, I have come to realize what truly happened in Valensteel, Javek reflects. I know. I can sense that you did not intend all that happened. Rangar struggles to his feet through a pain of age, then nods at the sorcerer, his expression once caught between regret and gratitude. You can tell he wants to ask what happens next. And you release me? What would you have me do? Javek asks the orc softly. It's not right to die here. Not now. I will do what I must, kid. I must try to live my final days in dignity. I know what I think about those whose deaths I was responsible for every day. Nightmares or no. Rongar declares. Aru, Greya, Kona, Ordis, the others. I'll remember them. Javek nods and regards the orc with a measure of respect for the first time. It seems the sorcerer had not accounted for the possibility that Rongar himself dwells so deeply on matters of distant past, but the notion seemed to please him nonetheless. The two men stare at each other for a moment longer, then Rongar simply leaves, hobbling out toward the distant spires deep in the Arcaros forest, now beset by evening twilight. In the aftermath, you move beside Javek and ask him if this was closure he sought. Now I know that it is, he states simply, thanks to you. Suddenly aware that your Komes watched this scene with growing curiosity, you shift the subject and ask the sorcerer what hexes he used on the crowd and guards in Arcane. You would not like to be an enemy of the Empire, and you imagine your crew, present as they are now, would not like to either. Javek attempts a smile, though it is clear he is conflicted about what he says next. Look, I broke my own rules. I held their minds in my hand and blanked their memories of the evening, he admits. No one in that forum knows who we are, or, as far as they're concerned, we weren't even there. And that goes for the guards, too. As we slew each, I wiped their memories, making sure the necromancers would not be able to glean anything from their specters about our identity. He pauses. While we were fleeing, some may have seen us, no, must have seen us, but those were, well, most simple people who looked the other way. Plus the guards at the gate who did not see us well enough in the storm to be able to describe us to their superiors. You joke aloud that the Tarkian clearly had almost every plausibility covered. More than a little imperial recognition for crimes committed seems unlikely at best. Yes, Javek answers, sighing. It was made possible by the power I was able to realize within the mindscape. Part of it came from the elves, he admitted, before giving you a sheepish look. It's not something I'm proud of either. It's not something anyone should think will happen again, he affirms among the crew who look on. A few jeers or laughs go up. You wonder if they admonish or agree with the sorcerer. The gathered crew disperse and make preparations to leave at your order, and while they do, you share a quiet moment alone with the Tarkian. Now that Rongar's fate has been decided, does Javek feel any better? Has the weight been lifted from his shoulders? Honestly, I'm not sure, he says slowly, looking away. It's all so fresh. I wonder if it could have ended differently if I did the rightful thing. If I did the right thing, the merciful thing. Valensteel was so long ago, yet its memory feels so fresh, Javek says, casting his eyes down. You ask the sorcerer what it all means for his abilities. The power I manifested tonight terrified me. No one should have that kind of ability, Vagrus. No one, he stresses, lingering on a pause. Through all of this, I've reached a harsh conclusion. I need to be free of it. There is a way to shed the burden of these abilities, and by Aman, I shall find it. You wonder out loud exactly how he might intend to do that. A plan is already forming in my mind, but I'll need to do some more research, Javek admits. It's complicated, and I'll need more time. You glance at the sorcerer in such a way as if to ask how long exactly. After all, he has made a habit of such activities, and you shall need to plan what paths the Comitatus will take. I see the look on your face, and the answer is unknown to me, he continues, using his forefinger and thumb to massage the bridge of his nose. He appears exhausted beyond words. I need to delve into some extremely esoteric accounts of elven magic. Once I've gotten to the bottom of those, perhaps I'll have a better idea. A few weeks, a month, half a year? He smiles cheekily at the last guest before inhaling and adding, Come see me in camp in a couple weeks. I'll let you know. With little time left to dwell further, you leave the sorcerer and prepare the Comitatus to lie low for the night. All right. Do we just transform? Okay. Interesting. Can we upgrade Javek now? Heck yeah! Alright, let's upgrade him. Let's get Mind Blast to level 3. And what were we thinking about? He's already got +1 channeling. Getting another channeling doesn't make sense. Clairvoyant. I like the idea of more accuracy, initiative, and evade. Power, like, he doesn't ever seem to run into power problems. So I don't really care about that. Lasting an additional turn might be nice. Power, yeah, I feel like getting this one is just better than channeling. Resolute, nah. Savant is the other one I'm tempted by. And we already have spell penetration. So I honestly think let's go introspection. And then start going towards getting enough skills to get savant. So we go tough, dexterous, savant. And then what do we need? We need 14 proficiency for the final thing of savant. And we need tough 3 and dexterous 3. So why don't we go is there a reason I can't get this one? Because it costs 3 proficiency? I guess I'll just hold on to it for now. So we'll have 63 proficiency, which means we can get premonition. We can get premonition. We can get savant for sure, because that's 28 total. We'll have to spend 6 proficiency to get the skills necessary, so that's 34, which means we'll have a total of 32 left, if I've done my math correct. So we'll have to see what else we'll probably just dump all of the stuff into these other skills here. Because I don't think I really care about hypnosis or receding swing, honestly. So yeah, we'll probably just boost like arcane lore. Maybe our beast lore. We have a lot of con already. Could be like healer, evaluate, herb lore might be useful. History. Yeah, we could just boost his stats like crazy. But I think this is a good upgrade for now. So let's do that. And then let's end the episode there. So if you guys enjoyed the episode, please click the like button. It helps me out a lot. If you want to see more episodes of Vagrus the Riven Realms or the other videos I have going on the channel, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you have your notifications on so you know when the next videos go live. But until next time, everybody, I hope you had a good one. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye, everybody.